Do we need to do an intro? Do we need to do an intro? Do we need to do?
The whole theme of this is we're solving different problems.
We are about to launch.
Solo round. Boom, baby. Let's just go. We're recording now.
What's up?
We're on.
By the time you hear this, it's going to be New Year's.
Maybe. No, it'll
Maybe
be the end of
almost New Year's.
2022.
All right.
Probably.
Yeah, 2022 is
For the
winding
diehards.
down.
For the diehards.
It's winding down, and this is going to be our last podcast of the year.
Last podcast 2022.
Right?
Who are we?
Who are we? Oh, yeah. Who are you?
I'm Jesse Schmidt.
You're Jesse Schmidt. I'm Liam Bauer. How long have you been a trainer, Jesse Schmidt?
I've been a trainer for 2,044 days.
2,044 days. I have been a strength coach because, I'm not a trainer. I set you up for 35 years and counting.
And this is the podcast where we help you maximize your strength as safely
And efficiently.
as possible.
That's right.
So January's coming around.
Right. And people need to, what do they need to do? GYST.
That is an acronym that no one understands except for Liam, but it stands for Get Your Shit Together.
Get your shit together. Am I the only one that understands that?
Yeah.
All right.
But everybody knows what that means, sort of,
We
because in
hope.
January it's International Get Your Shit Together month.
Right. It's like, holy crap. Make
Fitness-wise.
resolutions. Right. Get to the gym. I'm going to go. This is the year I'm going to do it. I'm actually going to do it this year.
This is
I'm going to stop eating sugar.
That's right. And we all make it extra fun because we pack in the calories right before the new year.
It lends itself
'Cause
well.
there's no easy buckets, right? And then we have more to lose. So it's a greater feeling of satisfaction when
That's
we
it.
accomplish our
That's probably
goals
part of it.
in the new year.
Because we're coming off a holiday season, one after another. We have two. We have more, but we have two that we love. Two amazing sponsors. We don't love the other one, so we don't talk about them.
Who's the first one?
Who's the first one? The first one is called the Harambe system. The Harambe system is, Jesse, tell them about the Harambe system. I'm always talking about it. You talk about it.
All right, I'm going to talk about the Harambe system. First of all, the Harambe system was invented by our good friend. His name is Khalid Borbeya, aka Rabi. And man, he has created this ingenious band-based bar system. And it can turn any barbell exercise into a band exercise with just a little platform and this solid aluminum
Steel.
now.
Stainless steel. It's always been steel.
It's always been steel.
It's always been steel.
No, this is terrible. You gotta do it. This is
All right.
horrible.
So the Harambe system, stainless steel bar. It's about 12 pounds. You got the bands from Serious Steel. You have the incredible platform, which has recently been upgraded. The new rope system, recently upgraded. All together, you can perform any barbell movement you can possibly imagine. Check out our friend Khalid Borbeya on Instagram. The guy is crushing it. He's living the Harambe shred life. He has gotten lean, gotten muscular, looks like Steve Reeves reincarnated. It's incredible. The guy is crushing life, crushing it, and he's a math genius as well. Just on top of everything else, why not? Invent an incredible exercise tool in your spare time and be a dad and a math genius in your regular time. All right, so that's our friend Khalid Borbeya. Use the TNT discount code, which is just TNT, and you'll get 15% off anything in the Harambe system store.
Our other sponsor we want to talk about is Low Cal Foods. Cali, feed your inner athlete.
That's right.
Low Cal Foods is your Bay Area based custom food delivery system.
That's right. Broccoli.
Meat. Check out Low Cal Foods, Cal. If you are a busy person on the go and you want to really keep your New Year's resolution commitments.
There we go. Keep that GYST in action.
Get your stuff together. And Low Cal Foods is going to help you out because you can either pick from some of their pre-made options and just have those delivered to your house or delivered to the TNT studio, or you can fully customize the meals yourself. So if you don't like asparagus, you don't have to eat asparagus.
That's right. The other cool thing is you could literally, because you don't want to deal with dialing in the macros or knowing how many calories. They'll do it for you. You tell them, I want 1,800 calories a day. Bam, they will take care of it. I need 150 grams of protein. Bam, they will take care of it. They can build a plan and deliver it to you or deliver it here to the studio.
There you go. So check out Low-Cal Foods, and when you go to their website, use the discount code TNT Strength 5 to get 5% off your entire order. And now, without further ado, please enjoy the final solo round of 2022 with Liam and Jesse. So anyway, why don't we just hop on in here? Should we just go to it?
So, we got to talk about how can we're going to solve some problems for you, like a few problems about fitness, nutrition, that kind of stuff. If you're trying to fix one of those holes in your game for the new year, people usually have the same excuses. They don't have enough time, or, they've tried all the different diets and none of them work. Diets don't work, right? We know that. Or do they all work? Do none of them work? They feel like there's one hole in their game. Like I strength train and I eat okay, but I never stretch enough. Or maybe they think I don't do cardio or whatever it is. We're going to solve some of those problems for you today.
Boom.
Boom. We like to throw a boom in there.
First thing I want to just say is that in our one of our most recent episodes, we were talking about how to survive the holidays.
That's true.
And we essentially said, don't worry about it if you eat more than you expected to eat or differently than you expected to eat on, say, Thanksgiving Day, for example, Christmas Day, these sort of holidays. And which I think is generally good advice.
Yeah, if you're a normal, healthy, average person who's not having any kind of health issues or specific things that they're concerned with,
right,
probably is okay advice.
And so I think the preamble to this episode, the qualifier I want to throw in there is that you have to personalize this stuff. You have to really look at who you are as an individual. And, there are a lot of schools of thought about how to accomplish goals. Some people think that you need to be unrelentingly disciplined, and other people think that you need to completely give yourself a long leash. And I think that there is no one size fits all plan. And you may be the type of person that does need to, put a check mark in every calendar box. I am one of those people. I like to be very, very disciplined. You may be on a therapeutic diet. We were talking about one example of that is, people with epilepsy who follow a ketogenic diet. It's probably not good advice to just, don't worry about it on Thanksgiving, right? Because
eat as much sugar as you want.
If the consequence of that is having a seizure, then that's probably not great.
Yeah, this obviously could probably apply to other people if they are managing blood sugar for various reasons. Diabetics, type 2 diabetics, type 1 diabetics. Usually that type 1 diabetics have shit dialed in pretty good because they've been going at it for a long time. Other people, it may be a new thing for them, recently diagnosed or who knows what.
So anyway, take the advice that we give you with a grain of salt, and not as something that you definitely should do, but something that should be taken into consideration because it might work for you under the right circumstances. We're just here to...
This stuff works for most of the people most of the time.
We're just propagating ideas.
None of the time.
Here.
All the people.
All the people some of the time. Some of the people all the time.
It's pretty good.
Some of the people some of the time.
I think it's pretty good.
All right, let's get into some of these tools.
All right. So here's one thing. What if you're trying to go to the gym and you feel like, part of the crazy thing for people is there's just so much stuff to think about. Like there's strength training, there's cardio, there's stretching. Maybe you do all these things religiously. You're like, you've already got it all dialed in. But for a lot of people, it just seems like so many things to think about. So how can we get all that stuff done and not like live in the gym? Obviously there's a ton of people that do go to the gym many, many hours a day. And most of them are often wasting their time just doing too much of a lot of stuff that doesn't do much and not enough of stuff that does. So we're going to talk to you about 5 easy steps to a 1 hour workout that's got everything, literally all the components that you want. All right. So you're going to take these ideas and just go to the gym next time rather than worrying like, how do I get it all done? We're going to tell you right now. So step one, you go in, you got your any mainstream gym, you pick out any type of cardio piece that you like to do your general warm up. You do that for 5 minutes, just 5 minutes of light moving around. Could even be calisthenics, doesn't matter. Just 5 minutes, okay, if you're getting on any kind of cardio equipment, some cycling, stepping, ellipticaling, whatever, maybe 60% of your heart rate if you're a heart rate kind of person. So that's 0 to 5. You hit the 5 minute mark, you get off there, and you're going to go do some actual endurance training, right? So you're going to stay on that piece, but you're going to bump up the intensity and you're going to go just little interval stuff, right? You're going to go 2 or 3 minutes at about 70% of your max and about 2 or 3 minutes, about 80% of your max. You just cycle that up and down, okay? So you can do that for 15 minutes, right? You did 5 minutes of easy. Now you can do 15 more minutes of a little bit more intense stuff, staying on that piece, getting all accomplished. Cardio's already done, warm-up's all done, okay? You can do 5 minutes back down at that easy pace that you started at, and now you've done your whole cardio stuff's out of the way, and you're warmed up as good as you ever would need to be for anything else. Now we're going to go and hit some strength training. As you probably know at this point, we recommend one set. You're going to pick out 8 to 12 different exercises. You want a few pushing movements, few pulling movements, lower body movements, maybe some low back, maybe some abs, right? So we would say leg press, leg curl, chest press, row, shoulder press, pull down, maybe some biceps, some triceps, and boom, one set each. It's going to be like 60 to 90 seconds of work with
To muscular failure. That's an important caveat.
Challenging, right? It should be difficult to complete those last couple of reps, whether you're counting reps or time, don't matter. Okay. So that's going to be from minute 25 to 55. Remember, we're getting this all done in 60 minutes. So we went from our cardio to a little bit of strength training, not that long. After the strength training, we're going to do a little cool down. So now we do a little stretch. And there's a little thing I call the Big Four. I got it from Wayne Westcott, who's a longtime friend and mentor. It's just 4 big stretches. You just stretch your hamstrings, lower back, shoulders, and your calves. And it's actually 4 specific movements that kind of take care of all of this. If you want to know more about it, you can look it up. Probably just Google Big Four Stretch, Wayne Westcott. You'll probably find some pictures. If you can't figure it out, you reach out to us and I will send it to you.
So it's a little different format than we typically recommend.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're doing a warm up. You're doing some stretching.
Yeah.
Usually when our clients come into TNT, they're basically just going straight to the strength training.
Yeah.
And they do it. They do their 8 to 12 exercises, one set to muscular failure, and then they walk on out the door.
That's right.
Happy and smiling.
Because we are TNT strength, right? So that little first suggestion was a way for someone who wants to get in the gym and get it all done. Right.
How often should they do that?
I would say 2 or 3 times a week would be all you need to do.
2 to 3 times a week
most.
Maximum. And the stronger you get, the less frequently you should train. So you January go-getters out there who would say, all right, I got a new calendar. I'm going to check a box every day I'm there, and I'm going to be there every day in January.
Yeah.
Let's think about it this way. If you go to the gym every single day in January, there's 31 days in January, so you'll do 31 workouts, right? Yeah. And then you'll probably burn out. And February 1st rolls around, and you're like, I'm done. Maybe you last a little while longer, but the statistics around that are depressing.
Yeah.
So better to think about it this way. Instead of going every single day in January and trying to, as Liam says, pack 10 pounds of shit into a 5-pound bag.
Yes.
Let's make a commitment for a year and go to the gym twice per week. And if you go to the gym twice per week over a year, you're going to go to the gym 100 times. So you will go to the gym 3 times as many times over the course of that year, only going twice a week as you will if you go every single day in January, because you're probably going to burn out if you try to work out every single
February,
day.
You're probably done.
So that's our philosophy at TNT. We don't want your life to be working out. We want your workouts to enhance the rest of your life. And that's why we recommend the brief, intense, and infrequent workouts.
Yeah.
So you can get the benefits of the strength training, of the conditioning, but not spend your whole life in the gym.
So keep in mind that suggestion is counter to how the things we usually talk about. It was designed with the idea of those people in mind that literally want to do all the classic stuff. They feel like they need to do some cardio. They feel like they don't warm up necessarily. They feel like they need to stretch. It's all there, and it's never going to take you more than an hour. You can
And
get
it's-
super efficient. It may even take less as you get
Right,
better
right.
at all those pieces.
It's still, I mean, even if you decide that, okay, in January, I'm going to go to the gym 3 times per week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday,
Yeah.
full body workouts, and you spend the full hour, right? That's all still only 3 hours.
Yeah.
I mean, compared to a lot of people who are doing 6 days a week, an hour, right? So you're
Yeah,
spending
or-
half
yeah,
as
or
much time
more.
as or more. So
A lot of
consistency is the key. We can't necessarily, if I go and I put $10,000 in, in a stock, right? That's going to compound over time. If I go in January to the gym and I do a bunch of workouts, I'm going to have the benefits for a little while, but the benefits don't stick around like they might for a stock that can just go up when a company does well over time. We have to be continually making investments into the fitness account.
There you go. So now here's another thing you can do. Maybe stretching is the thing that's missing. A lot of people feel like they're not stretching right now. We talk a lot about that, like the idea that you don't necessarily want to do a protracted sort of static stretching session before you do workouts, a little short dynamic stuff. But this is another tidbit from my old buddy, Mr. Wayne Westcott. This is a way that they incorporate stretching. This is, he does a lot of research stuff. This is based on some of the research that he did. But basically what they did is they did the classic style of strength training that we recommend, the HIT or effort-based strength training. But at the end of each exercise, you stretch the muscle you just worked immediately for 20 seconds. So you go through your workout as normal. And remember, when we're working out full range of motion, especially different exercises, a lot of this is promoting flexibility anyway, which is, one of the great things about the type of training that we recommend. But here, you want to get a little extra love. So let's say we just did leg extensions. I'm going to get up. I have to catch my breath for a moment anyway. I'm going to stretch my quads for 20 seconds, right? I go do leg curls. I go to failure. I get up. I stretch my hamstrings 20 seconds, right? I go on to my chest press. I get off. I stretch my pecs 20 seconds. You get the idea, right? And you just go through your workout, and it's not going to take any longer than normal because you're always having a little bit of transition time.
Active rest.
Exactly. You're taking that time that you normally would be catching your breath, getting a drink of water, walking around, looking at your phone, right? You're going to just add 20 seconds of stretching and just keep on moving through the workout. So whatever the workout you've been doing, assuming you've had a brief, intense, well-designed plan, it's literally the workout shouldn't even take longer than it was. So it might still take 20 minutes. Now you're just actively stretching instead of wondering what should I do while I'm waiting for the next one.
In our small group training here at TNT that we're starting up now, we have people doing essentially 8 rounds of 90 seconds of work in their strength training with 60 seconds of rest after that round of strength. And so you could put yourself on a timer, right? You do your set and then actually hit a stopwatch, 60-second countdown, and make sure that, in that 60 seconds you're doing, right? You do the first 20 seconds is maybe you're moving to the next thing, and then you stretch right before you start the next thing. And then you get into the chair and get set up or whatever. You pick up the dumbbells and you get ready. And there you go. There's your 60.
Yeah, and that's plenty of time to get that little stretch in along the way. Now, obviously, if you're working in the classic commercial gym, you may have way more time than you intended to stretch because there's some guy ahead of you that says he's got 5 sets, bro.
That's right. I mean, and in that case, then you get some extra conditioning by just pushing him out of the way. You
can wrestle him for it.
Yeah.
And go. Yeah, everybody see who gets the best 2 out of 3 falls. Blammo. All right. So there we go. Stretching thing. That's another thing you can do. Maybe that's the hole in your game.
Hey, what are those guys doing here? Whenever I feel like I'm stalling out on my bench press, I know I need a new strength curve.
Whether you're stalling out on the road or stalling out in the gym, you need something with great engineering.
That's right. And
So
I
look
want
for the pendulum.
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 Not just your average strength machines.
No, they have smooth strength curves.
Amazing rigidity.
And did we mention the engineering's fantastic?
That's right. Not to mention, they come in cool colors.
Like red.
And silver. Well, that was kind of weird. What was that all about? Back to the interview.
How about cardio? How about adding cardio in? Some people they lift, they never do the cardio. They feel like it's missing. Maybe they don't. But if you do, there's a couple of things you can do that are super easy. One of the easiest ones is do your regular strength training program like you always do. And rather than thinking you now need to spend 30, 40, 50 minutes of whatever aerobic activity, just pick any device that's available that you like or don't like, or just happen to, rowing machine, bicycle, elliptical, all the standards that are out there in your big box gyms. And you've just finished your strength training workout, get out on that thing and go at a nice brisk pace for about 12 minutes and finish it off. You should feel like you're breathing hard for that 12 minutes. Go as hard as you can without actually having to stop. Okay. That's like pretty arbitrary. If you want to be more specific and you want to, we can use a really simple tool we call the talk test, right? So if you want to work on cardio, but keep it short, you get on any machine you want. Let's just say it's an exercise bike. I start at level 1. I pedal for 2 minutes. Every 2 minutes, I increase the resistance. Best thing to do would be do this with a friend. So Jesse and I are on 2 bikes right next to each other. We start it together. Every 2 minutes, we increase the resistance. So we're just having a little conversation. And we pay attention to that point where we can't have that conversation anymore. It's called unstable ventilation. It's actually your anaerobic threshold. It's at the point where you can't easily deliver that energy in the presence of oxygen. And you're like, hey, you got to take a breath. You can't have complete a sentence. So now I see what that is. Let's say I'm at level 8 on the bike and my heart rate's 145. I'm just making all this stuff up. I'm going to drop that back down, recover so I'm back to where I can chat. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to push up just below that number as my regular place to start. So now I know level 8, I was at my unstable ventilation. Maybe I'll go to level 7 or level 6. And now I'll just pedal there and stay there at that level for that whole 12 minutes. Okay. What you want to do then is every three weeks or so, you can retest. You can stay on the same device or you can change devices as well. But you're going to find that you're able to go at a higher level before you hit that threshold, right? That you're pushing back against it. That's a way that's a little more for the science geeks that want stuff. Otherwise, just get on a thing, go as hard as you can for 12 minutes and be done with it.
So we're saying this is at the end of that 60-minute workout?
No, this would be on separate. This is for someone who's just doing strength training and
so
never does cardio. This
so
has
Monday,
nothing
Wednesday,
to do with that
Friday,
first thing.
We're doing the 60-minute, strength and
This thing has nothing to do with that one.
this is totally separate program.
This is if you're someone who doesn't care about that getting all done in an hour.
So another option.
You're like a regular strength training guy. So the whole theme of this is we're solving different problems. One problem was, how do I get it all done efficiently? That was the first one. Get it all done in an hour. The next one was, how do I add stretching into my plan? These are separate things, right? I'm already happy with going to the gym, but I don't feel like I stretch enough. Bam, I just gave you a simple way. Throw those 20 seconds of stretching in right after each muscle group. This is a separate thing. I don't do cardio, but I want to, but it feels like it takes too long. I don't waste time. Bam, I get my strength training in 2 or 3 times a week, whatever I do. But now, instead of just walking out of the gym and feeling like shit, I didn't do any cardio again, 12 minutes, huff and puff.
There you go. Probably could integrate it like the program we've talked about before, where you do a strength workout on Monday. On Wednesday, you do this 12-minute cardio thing.
Could totally do that too.
Super small investment of time.
Yeah.
And then Friday, you go back to the strength workout. You could do that. You could do that infinitely. So you always know you're getting 2 full body workouts in a week and a day of cardio.
Yeah.
Or you could even swap it the next week. What we like to do is 2 strength. So Monday strength, Wednesday cardio, Friday strength. And then flop it the next week where you do cardio Monday, strength Wednesday, cardio Friday.
Yeah, that one.
And that way
you can literally just keep on spinning.
Yeah, so that way over a 2-week period,
you get
3 strength workouts, 3 cardio workouts, and you never have to say, "Oh, I don't do any cardio or I don't do any strength training."
And honestly, it's plenty for everyone.
Plus, in the context of this podcast recording, you're only spending 2 hours and 12 minutes a week.
Yeah, maybe
maximum.
Right.
That's in the 2 strength workouts per week. If you do strength cardio, you're spending 1 hour and 24 minutes in week 2.
Yeah.
This is not like well, if you only have time to put in this much work, this is what you should do.
No.
To just keep a minimal amount of fitness. Like, this is like optimal stuff. I mean, if you do what I said earlier and you actually carry this through the entire year, you'll be a dramatically different and more, energetic and strong and well-conditioned
efficacious
human being. That's right. Probably more handsome.
And your S will be T. Your shit will be together.
Your shit will be together.
Yeah. You will have G'd your ST or whatever. You got it all. You got it. You would have done it. You accomplished the GYST goal.
What happens a lot in January is that people, the word for it is overtraining. It's not, and overtraining, we've talked about this in previous episodes, overtraining manifests in different ways. sometimes it manifests in an injury, and you get this nagging hamstring thing, and you're like, and your body just sort of tells you like, oh nope, it's not leg day today, and you just have to take time off because you've been working out every single day, and you need to rest it. But and so that's easy to recognize. Something hurts.
Yeah.
I must be overtraining. I need to take some time off. But the other signs are often more subtle. The psychological signs where you're just feeling lethargic or drained or not energetic.
You're losing your enthusiasm. Like you usually like to go to the gym and you find you're just like not into it. That's usually a good sign that something's going on. Also, sometimes people catch colds and the flu and stuff, and they don't associate that diminished immunity response has anything to do with the fact that they're just beating their body in the gym too much. And you'll hear it a lot. These guys are like, I had this great workout going. I was, following the super plan that's got me going in there. And then all of a sudden I got a cold and I had to take a week off because I felt like crap. And then you realize when you talk to this guy that cycle repeats itself through his life consistently, right? And he never associates the getting sick with the overtraining.
Yeah. So these recommendations we're making for you, remember, they're optimal. And we're thinking about things from a holistic standpoint where you're really getting the most out of your time and energy that you're putting in the gym. You're spending most of your time recovering outside of the gym, and you're going to be better for it.
Yeah. So remember, we always, that's where TNT is coming from. We always are looking for what's the least amount required to achieve the end result, right? And we don't say how much can I handle till I break, right? Or how much can I cram into my life, or how much time can I spend and miss out on every other aspect of your life, right? Yeah, we want it to be effective, efficient, safe, fun, challenging, but get in, get out, get on with your life.
But it's not just about the training. We got to talk about some nutrition too.
Right. Obviously, nutrition is often a challenge for people. We've been talking a lot about it lately. We talked a little bit about nutrition for runners. We talked a little bit about it for the holidays. So some of the stuff's probably going to sound familiar, but this is all super solid things that we find are useful. So we're going to re-hit it again. This is, somebody feels like there's holes in that part of their game. Well, I always get to the gym. I just struggle with getting that 10 pounds off, or, I just can't seem to stay on a plan that works for me. All right. So we're going to give you some quick and easy guidelines, right? One thing that we recommend.
I would say simple, not necessarily easy.
Right. Yeah. That varies on person to person, right? Of course. Simple. But one of the first things that we think about is cutting out sugar. And when we say cutting out sugar, we're talking about like processed sugar, sugary foods.
Cake, candy, ice cream, donuts. Oh, wait, did I say that? Oh, an occasional donut for you donut runners out there.
That's right. But, keeping it in check. So, kind of the three mantras I've been using lately is, prioritize protein, manage your carbs, which means different things for different people. And don't be afraid of fat, right? Those are three things that we talk about. Fat doesn't make you fat. Hopefully people know that by now. A lot of people still probably don't. But anyway, so cutting out sugar, again, it's the processed stuff, right? Not like sugar that's in a blueberry, right? Or something like that. But blueberry pie is different. You probably don't need the pie.
I don't know if I've ever had blueberry pie. It sounds delicious.
I like berry pie.
We should have blueberry pie would match our uniforms.
That's true. And if we got it on there, it might not be a problem.
That's right.
Berry pie
later.
I'm a berry pie fan. All right, we'll talk about that when we're not on the air.
Oh crap! Are we still recording?
So another thing to think about: you cut out sugar. Again, like Jesse said, which is true. It's simple, but it may not be easy depending on who you are. But it's a simple concept. The other thing is total calories do matter, right? There's hormonal stuff going on in our bodies. There's definitely a link. You can't separate the two. Hormones respond to the foods that we eat, but the math is also works when you control total calories. You can lose body fat. Remember, we want to lose body fat. Usually we're not just trying to lose weight. We always want to hang on to muscle. And that's where that prioritized protein thing comes from. So we want to think about what our maintenance calories are. We want them to be pretty moderate. And what we've been telling people a lot in these last few episodes is just add that 0 to the weight you're trying to goal. So we usually say target weight or ideal body weight. Most of us, or many of us, have a number in mind. You might think I'm 220, but I'd like to be 190, right? Let's just say. Or I'm 190 and I want to be 170, whatever, it doesn't matter. We usually just take the number that the goal is, and we're going to use that as our number to manipulate all the other variables. Okay. And the variables are the total calories. So with that, we just add a 0, right? You want to be 170, you add to 0, 1,700 calories becomes your base, right? So for men, usually we're looking at most men average somewhere in that 15 to 1,800 calorie range, unless you're really, really big. And for most women, somewhere in that 1,200 to 1,500 calorie range, right? Again, unless you're, taller or different structures, right? But those are general guidelines. We recommend protein. We talk about this all the time. The simplest plan we like to use is 1 gram per pound, again, of target weight, right? If you weigh 300, but you want to be 200, you don't need 300 grams a day. You need 200 grams a day. All right. Really keep in mind that 1 gram per pound of even target weight is like a bonus, right? The research says you can go as low as 0.7 grams. Some people will base it on lean body mass, right? But that's more work. We find that many people undershoot. So we like the 1 gram per pound of target weight. It's like an insurance policy. You're shooting for that every day. You're always going to get enough.
So simple way to think about that is, if you want to weigh 150 pounds, what TNT says that you should try to eat 150 grams of protein per day. What the research says is you probably don't need quite that much. Maybe you need 110. But from our experience, when people try to eat that 150, they usually end up more around that 110 number. So it's better to shoot for the moon, land among the stars, than to say, well, the research says 110, because if you're shooting for 110, then you end up at 75. Well, now you're significantly below the number you need to be at on a daily basis. So just pulling back the veil a little bit for you folks there.
Yeah. And again, we know the numbers, but we just round up. It makes it easy. It's an easy number for people to keep in their head. It's a safe one. It always gets them. It's very difficult to overeat protein. You want your high quality sources. Sometimes people worry about drinking enough water. I don't drink enough water, right? And again, you hear a million different things. The tried and true thing that I usually recommend for that as a place to start is just divide your weight in half and shoot for that many ounces a day. So again, if you were 150 pounds is the target weight, try to get like 75 ounces of water a day, right? You can divide that up into 8 ounce by 8 if you want, for thinking of like the classic 8-ounce glasses or whatever. Some people say drink 2 gallons a day. Some people say drink a gallon a day. It's not easy to drink that much water. It can be done. Jesse's done it.
I had to pee every 30 minutes.
Yeah. And there can be maybe some benefits, but I think that's an easy number. Again, just half your weight in ounces of water a day. Great place to start.
Yeah, if you drink a gallon of water, it's like you can only really focus on something for about 25 minutes and then you have to go pee. So there you go. If you're like a student or something, maybe drink a gallon of water a day.
And while you try to stay focused.
Yeah, you will be forced to take a 5-minute break and go to the bathroom every half hour.
That's good for like office workers too.
Yeah, maybe so.
Like get them off, up out away from their chair.
That's right.
Every 20
Get up and moving.
Keep that. Jesse literally has a 1 gallon jug that keeps the water like ice cold. And he has it sitting near him all the time. And he used to drain that thing religiously every day.
I usually drink one over the course of 2 days now.
There we go. See, that's reasonable. All right. So we got the water, we got the protein, we got the general calorie guidelines. What about, veggies? Eat your freaking veggies. You like them? Eat them. We're not people, we like the low carb stuff for lots of reasons. Again, when we say low carb, we usually are talking about processed stuff. Have we delved into the deep into the low carb world and had some success with it? Yes, we have. At least speaking for myself, I definitely have, and I tend to thrive there. But we don't push that on people, and we have nothing against veggies. Somehow people think I'm an anti-veg guy.
Unless you have a contraindication, right?
Yeah,
if you know that you don't digest oxalates well, then maybe don't eat handfuls of spinach every day.
There we go.
So there are exceptions to
know
these, but
thyself.
Most people are okay eating, a good, well-rounded mix of veggies and fruits and meat.
Yeah, there we go. Just, basic stuff. Speaking of fruit, again, there's nothing wrong with it. There's fruitarians, but if you're realistic, right?
They fart a lot.
If you're realistic, humans weren't expecting to get fruit year round everywhere, especially in the Northern Hemisphere, right? And it would be, so I like to say seasonal fruit, but if you don't want to be that strict about it, I'd just say keep it to a couple servings a day at the most. Don't go crazy. I've seen guys literally eat like 4 or 5 pounds of fruit as their meal every day. This guy used to sit in the atrium at this gym I worked at, and he'd have the whole table covered with fruit. He was like a fruitarian,
That's a lot of
And
fruit.
he'd just be eating melons and bananas and just fruit.
You must have farted a lot.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't hang around with them that close, but
because of the cloud.
I try to stay away. All right, so a little bit of fruit, it's not gonna hurt you either. Okay, so let's round up all those guidelines. We got our our made up female whose target weight is 130 pounds. That's her goal. That's her target. She wants to eat 130 grams of protein a day, right? 1 gram per pound of ideal target body weight. She's gonna drink basically 65 ounces of water a day, right? 1 ounce times half her body weight, and she's gonna eat 1,300 calories as her base calories.
Booyah.
It's that easy, all right? You start with getting your protein requirements hit. You get the fruits and veggies in there, a little friendly fat. Bam! Don't know what to cook? Go on the TNT blog. There's recipes on there all over the place. I just put one up today.
They're plentiful.
Cucumber salad. Delicious.
Little meat on the side.
Yeah, I had it last night for dinner. I had a big cucumber salad and a big bowl of chicken teriyaki.
Yum. So keep that. We got to be more consistent with the nutrition than we do with the workouts. Or we need to we need to have good habits more frequently, right? Because you can't just decide like on your workout days that you're gonna eat
exactly
healthy.
Yeah, don't use that. Don't use our every other day model for the
There are
for the eating plan.
different paradigms. Even though you might only be doing your strength workout on Monday and your cardio on Wednesday and your strength on Friday, we still need to try to eat that 1 gram per pound of ideal body weight on a daily basis. And that's the thing that we like to focus on the most at TNT, because let's face it, right? Regardless of the month, whether it's a holiday month or New Year's resolution month or summer bikini body month or whatever it is, people tend to let it hang loose a little bit more on the weekends, right? So if you do have a drink or two or have an ice cream sundae or whatever it might be, then you may have some days where you're going to go higher calorie, and that may be all right. And if you're focusing on the overall protein intake that you're getting on a daily basis, that's really going to help you regulate your calories in the big picture of things. So hope these fundamentals help you out as you're setting your goals for the new year. And if we can offer you any additional support, just reach out to us. You can visit tntstrength.com, send us an email, find us on social media. We're out there. We still don't have a TikTok yet. Maybe in 2023 we'll see. But we're happy, when people genuinely approach us with a request, we're always happy to help. And so just reach out.
And just touching on that last point, I did mention this in another episode, but some people don't like to track. We do track stuff as far as nutrient stuff. We track our calories, we track our protein and all that stuff. It's not that hard these days. It's way easier than it used to be. There's a million apps out there that you can use. And once you get into the habit, it takes literally like 2 minutes a day almost to get it done. But talking about those calories, again, let's say for me, I want to weigh 170. I'm going to eat 1,700 calories a day. Here's 3 different ways I could do that and average out the exact same amount of calories. I could just eat 1,700 calories a day, Monday through Saturday, and Monday through Sunday, whatever, every day, 7 days a week, 1,700. That's one way. Maybe I want to do that Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and I like to have a little more fuel on those days. I might eat 15 something on Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday, and 18 something on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So I'm averaging 1,700. Or let's say I really know I like to cut loose on the weekends. I mentioned this also. I might go Monday through Thursday and be all the way down to like 1,400 and then jack it up to like 2,000, 2,500 on the weekend, knowing that's when I'm going to have a date. I've got a social thing going on. I don't want to be that guy who says, oh, I can't have any guacamole or whatever because I'm on my plan and it's too many calories, right? You want to be able to cut loose a little bit on those weekends, go to a party. So again, if you plan it out and the math averages out, it works for you. It's not that hard. But again, this does take some planning. You can't completely shotgun everything. And that's the hardest part for people. And that's why it's not necessarily easy, although it is simple.
Boom, baby! What's up, people? Thank you so much for listening to this episode of
Truth, Not Trends.
That's right here at TNT Strength Headquarters, Truth Not Trends.
Please, if you enjoyed this episode, subscribe, rate, and review us on whatever platform you're listening to us on. And don't forget to share
with a friend.
You can find us on the web at tntstrength.com.
That's right, TNT Strength now coming to you in person at 5255 College Avenue in Oakland, California. You can call the studio 510-768-5421. You can also text us at 855-796-9905.
Or shoot us an email at contact@tntstrength.com. And whatever you do, stay off of that stupid blue bubbly bosun. New Year's resolutions. Just say, fuck it, and eat a bunch of ice cream.
Mixed and edited by Desmond McNeese for We Mixed It, LLC. Go to whatsoundsawesome.com.
You put me behind the wheel and I steered it right into a snowbank.
I'm just going to cut it out so none of this matters.